Day number 6, welcome back. If you've been doing the stretches and following along, I really hope that you feel the benefits. We're going to jump straight into the first one, and it's for your hips. I call them rockbacks. I've seen them called the frog stretch before. You're going to feel it on the hips and on the inside of your groin. And I did mention, I think it could have been yesterday, about some stretches just kind of sucking, and persevere with it, that they're a little bit uncomfortable. And this is one of them. The setup position, I'm going to go lengthways on my mat. And just to show you the position, I will swap as well. But generally, it's better to have your knees on the mat because it can be a little bit uncomfortable on your knees if it's on a hard surface. So I'm going to go down on all fours, and my knees come almost as wide as I can go, and my feet will stay close together. I guess you can see why someone would call it the frog stretch. It's that kind of a frog position with your legs. I call them rockbacks because it's this motion of rocking back and forward. I would count that as 1 rep. A gentle rock back and forward is 2 and 3, and you'll feel it on the inside of your groin and your hips here. If you come into this position and you can't feel it, you just need to try and get your knees a little bit wider, and then a little bit wider, and then over time you'll open out your hips, and it's just that gentle rocking. I could give like 10 to 15 here, and you'll work through the reps. When you're finished, then what I always do is gently come out. So I'll try and lift one knee in, and just kind of take your time when you come out. It's not like a vulnerable position, but once you go into it, you'll feel it's a little bit tricky. You don't want to try and come out of it too quickly. I guess even if I just turn to the side to see, my knees are wide apart, but sometimes people go wrong if they keep their feet far apart as well. It's just too difficult to open out your knees. And again, you're never trying to like arch your back too much or anything like that. And it's a gentle rock with your hands. Hands down in front of you, feet close together, knees wide apart. And then over time, you'll feel that you can just, you can get a little bit wider with your knees. Again, if this doesn't feel uncomfortable on the inside of your groin and hips, you just need to try and open your knees a little bit wider. Okay, so that is our first stretch for today, day 6. It's for your hips and groin, and they are called rockbacks. Okay, number 2 for today is simple enough. One, it's called the cobra push-up. Another good reason to have a mat. The start position is lying down on your chest, completely flat. Your hands are going to be beside your chest, so even think pretty close to your armpits, and tucked in, elbows tucked in as well. I don't want your hands out away from your body. I don't want them, it would be unusual for them to be behind, but anywhere out in front like this with elbows out, I want them in, tucked in. All you're going to do is try and press up, straight arms, arch that back, and have a little peek ahead. There's a nice pause at the top. Control back down to the ground. Push up, arch your back. Again, a pause at the top I think is always nice. Controlled on the way down. Any pain or anything like that through your back, if you do this, stop. Absolutely stop. Shouldn't feel any pain at all. That's really important on any of the stretches. Some of the other ones can be a little bit uncomfortable. Here, I almost feel a little bit of relief. I said that when we did the cat camel, when you do a cat camel, when you come into that hollow position, it actually feels quite nice for me. Nice in terms of, it's like I feel like I don't do this movement enough. I feel like my spine needs it. And it can be the same with the cobra push-up. If you struggle pushing up off your hands for any reason, the half cobra is hands out in front, and you're still trying to do that kind of arch movement from your back. And you would work through them, but you should be able to do the cobra push-up. Again, hands beside your chest, elbows tucked in. Up. I usually give around 6 to 8 reps. And that is stretch number 2 for your spine, cobra push-up. We move on to stretch number 3. It is for your shoulders, the backs of your shoulders. There is a band fixed to something to go through this. If you don't have that set up, you can revert to our band pull-aparts that we would have done previously on one of the earlier days. If you feel like you can't do this, but you do have a band, again, these pull-aparts are an absolutely perfect sub. Okay, I will show you the movement from the front before I do it, because if you can think of just doing this simple movement all the time, it will serve you really, really well when you go to do the banded face pull. And I want you to be able to see it from the front. When I grab the band, what I will do is I will hold it with my hands close together. And when I pull the band, I think of taking my hands apart and getting my elbows behind my body. And then I'll reset to the start. So hands together, and then you'll see when I pull, my hands come apart and I'm trying to get my elbows back. The one common fault that I would see with this is someone will pull the band in and then their elbows would stay forward, and you're not going to feel it on the backs of your shoulders, which is what you're looking for. When you watch, hands apart, hands together, and then elbows back. The band is attached to the rack. You could attach it to whatever you can, just make sure it's fixed and it's sturdy. And I will hold the band in a kneeling position. My hands are together and I will pull them apart and try and get my elbows back. Pull them apart, hands together, hands apart. The strength of the band, like, it obviously needs to be strong enough that there's tension in it the whole way through. I would have said that with the pull aparts as well, that to have no slack. And you might need to position yourself a little bit closer, a little bit further away to feel when you work through them straight away, you'll start to feel the tension in your shoulders. It work your shoulders. So again, hands together, hands apart, and you'll work through them. You can hear the band, there's no slack, and there is tension the whole way through. And then straight away, you'll start to feel it here on your shoulders. So really nice to work through that. Again, if you just don't have the setup, it's no problem at all. Sub in the band pull aparts. It's a really good sub to have in for it. And that's stretch number 3. They are called banded face pull. So again, think of that, pull towards your face. I actually like to think as well, it's another small thing before we finish up on it. When you are pulling the band, that the band comes towards your neck and not your face. Can I rename it the banded neck pull? Maybe I can. So that's really important that it comes to your neck and then not your face. All right, so it's a nice position. So a couple of things to think of there. Hands together, hands apart, elbows back, and then the band comes to your neck. Stretch number 3. We round out day 6 with movement number 4, our bonus movement. You can do this without a weight, but I have a light plate. If you don't have plates, it could be a dumbbell or a light object, anything like that at all. There's a couple of nice things going on here because it is a lunge, a reverse lunge. Okay, so that's one part of the movement. Again, it's just a nice movement to get in through your legs. And then I'm going to rotate as well. I'm going to put the two of them together. So again, it's lovely for your legs to get warmed up. And then to rotate as well, we're always trying to work on our spine. You can see every single day there's a movement where you're either working through that straight and back range of motion in your spine, or to rotate as well, that we don't get stiff from here. I like this. Again, I've mentioned coordination before, where there's a little bit of balance and coordination. And if you're always working on that, you're winning, especially over time as we age. Really, really important. You're going to see that I will do a lunge. The leg, if my left leg stays in front, that's the way I'm going to turn. If you watch, 1 rep would be a reverse lunge. My left leg is in front, I turn off to the side and then reset. If I swap sides, if I lunge and my right leg is in front, I turn to the right side. You could do them that slowly. I don't necessarily try and go through them really, really quickly. And you could alternate legs. Sometimes if you find that it's easier to do it on the same leg, a little bit of coordination, a little bit of rotation, a little bit of balance. Anytime you're doing anything with a single leg, you could split the reps. If I tell you to do 10, you could do 5 on one side and 5 on the other. Again, you're always going to have some kind of an object, but for whatever reason, if you don't, it is that movement of doing the lunge and turning. That's the very, very simple way I think of it, is the leg that's left in front, I'm trying to turn across that side. All right, with a lunge, to run back through that, just that I don't skip ahead, it's a backward step and you're trying to get your knee to tip the ground and never bang off the ground, that there's some element of control. And then this leg, drive back up, it does all the work. So to revert back to the lunge, knee tips the ground, and then this leg drives back up. So try and keep the weight almost on this leg all the time. With the lunge again, you never want to lunge too far back where you kind of lose leverage, your knee comes way back, and then it's really hard to lunge or to step back up. Just think of that little gap. That's your lunge. The rotation, we add the plate, a little bit of weight. Really nice movement to round out with. I don't mind if you alternate or if you do all on one side, half on one side, and then half on the other. I'm out of breath. I swear I'm fit. I'm relatively fit. That rounds out day 6. Our bonus movement to finish out is called a lunge and rotate. Thank you.